what's your tutoring superpower?
The ability to connect with every type of student. So no matter what year group, no matter what subject, I think no matter what their personality is like, I always find something to connect with them. I think that really reinforces like the tutor-student relationship, which I think is so important.
That's awesome. So you kind of like bring out the best part, or you bring out the part of yourself that's most relevant for that particular subject, year level. Oh, that's fantastic. Yeah. Because it's hard to do sometimes. I feel like sometimes it feels like you're faking it, or you're like it feels like you're doing very different things. But if you can comfortably move between different modes of being based off what the student, based off their personality and their subject and their year level, that's a very good skill.
Yeah.
And it makes sense. Like you're not the same person at a funeral or at the beach or with your mates or whatever. So you shouldn't be the same tutor with any student.
Exactly.
And what do you love most about tutoring students?
There's so many things I love about tutoring. I just love how, again, it's different with each person. I love making someone who hates maths and feels not so confident in maths and helping them progress and making them become more confident in their maths and getting them to a point where they potentially even love maths, which is, I think, is so crazy. And also just seeing them reach their goals. So seeing them come in and say, I want to achieve this, and being able to see that happen and like the joy that they get from that. I get a lot of joy out of seeing them happy as well.
Oh, that's amazing. Very good to hear. If your tutoring style were a movie, what genre would it be?
What a movie genre.
Like it could be like a comedy or like a drama or an action or like a superhero movie. We had horror before, which I thought was a great answer. I'm like, horror, wow. I think she meant in a sense of like, like the students are like horrified into gear when I mean to be serious. I'm like, hey, I didn't expect that, but yeah.
If I were to say like reality TV, reality TV they have their ups and downs. Very conversational, I think, very casual.
A sense of just being real with the student, just like having a normal conversation, getting on with stuff. Drama, so be it. It is what it is.
Yeah, but hopefully goes for many seasons, and I'll see them for a long time.
Very nice. What made you want to be a tutor?
Oh, good question. Initially, it was something that I thought I could challenge myself with. I was a dance tech teacher assistant for this, so I used to work with kids, and I found that quite rewarding. And moving to Sydney for uni, I decided to challenge myself and have a go at tutoring, and I've just loved it since, which is why I'm still here after 3 years.
That's awesome. Very cool. That's right, because you're from Newcastle. And we mentioned before, my mum was born in Newcastle. And then actually did what you did. Came here to UNSW to study. You mentioned earlier that you worked at a dance studio. Was that the same kind of thing? Like, was it like, are there skills that are kind of transferable, or was it like, is it very different? Yeah,
good question. I think that you have to learn how to adapt to each child or each student. I think is really important, because one kid might pick up something if you say it this way, but another kid who's standing right next to them won't understand a word that you're saying. So learning how to adapt and learn how they like to learn, I think is really important.
Great, which I imagine would be easier in tutoring in the sense that it's one-on-one.
Yes, kind of work with 100%.
Yeah. Well, surely if it's because I imagine dance was a group, right?
Yes.
And it would have been more like, okay, I've got to somehow like do the aggregate kind of learning style or whatever, to get the most out of everyone, to not leave anyone behind, but not bore people and push everyone to the
Managing a group of like 8 to 10, 5 to 6 year olds is an experience.
No, that's tough. My boys are that age right now. Having
they're so cute.
Having 10 of them, managing them to do anything, I feel like it'd be hard. Well done.
Yes, cute. They're so cheeky.
So what has been your greatest challenge with a student so far?
When I first see the student for the first time, obviously I have like a structure, but then learning more about them, like whether that be a kindergarten student whose attention span is a lot less, or like a year 8 math student who their parents sent them to go to tutoring, and then they're not really
less desire on their end to be part of it.
they didn't choose to be at tutoring, I think.
Right.
And getting them motivated, I think, learning what makes them concentrated and how to keep that concentration and make them enjoy the session as well, I think, requires a bit of thought and a bit of trial and error.
Oh, very cool. And is there a particular one, like, is there a particular student that you had in mind that felt just most challenging or more challenging?
Oh, not necessarily. I think especially working with like students with like ADHD, for example, I've had to think about how I might structure those sessions differently to how I might structure like a HSC session.
It's always a bit more challenging with neurodivergent students.
Yeah.
But having said that, I think, and come back to the dance studio thing, I think our job is easier for neurodivergent students. Well, because they're one-on-one. Like a student with ADHD or autism, I think it's easier for us to get through to them than if you were like in a class of 10 or 20.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, because the symptoms are less prevalent. Like, you can engage them on their level. And what did you do? So, for example, as a student that would come to you and their parents are just saying, look, you have to go to tutoring, or they've done a bad exam, they feel terrible about it. Yeah, how did you conquer that challenge? How did you get them to enjoy and want to be there and get through the lesson?
Starting off with something to get them into the headspace. So like a maths mentals game. It's a good way to set this session off. If they have like a book in front of them and they're getting bored, they're not really engaging in the work when they're just sitting down and writing. I'll get them to stand up and write stuff on the whiteboard, and then we'll like solve questions on the whiteboard, and learn from there.
Very nice. That's awesome. Do you have an example of an activity that you can show us, like a game or something? I don't know, like to get them in the zone.
Oh, not necessarily. I just convert the questions to the whiteboard, and that's enough of a change.
Well, I was thinking, what's the weirdest question a student has ever asked you?
I think a lot of questions are weird. I can't pinpoint any. Sometimes when I ask them about their week and what they've been up to, the answers they give me, I think are like, oh my goodness.
Right, they'll give you their activity and you're like, wow, that's not a normal weekend.
Yeah, I was like, you guys do so much more than I do on the weekend.
I studied for my finals. Yes. If your lessons had a soundtrack, what would play on that soundtrack as you were tutoring?
I've been listening to a lot of techno jazz lately.
Okay.
Which I think is a bit of a funky answer. But I would say...
It comes out of your style of tutoring. Okay, cool.
Yeah, I want to say smooth in the sense of jazz, normally pretty structured. Also, I like to bring energy, which that's where the techno part comes in.
Nice.
I feel like this job makes me feel excited to come in, which I think is then reflected in my sessions.
Yes. It's fantastic. What's one lesson that your students have taught you?
I feel like I have quite a few students who, as they're doing a question and getting a bit stuck, they'll positively self-talk to themselves, and they'll say to themselves, I can do this, I'm smart, and it'll help them get through to the end of the question, which is something that I've never thought about doing before.
That's awesome.
But I think it's so inspiring, and just seeing them have such positive self-talk.
That is so cool.
Especially in a little kid, I think is so cool.
That's awesome. Do you reckon they're doing it because they were told to do it, or it kind of comes to them naturally to do that?
I probably think there's some external influence. It's so cool to see them do it in a setting where it's very unprompted. I'll always give encouragement.
Yes.
But I've never heard the student give themselves encouragement, which
awesome.
Which is so cool.
Because not like you're telling them to give self-talk and then they do it. They just like naturally say, Jim, you can do this. You got this. That's
exactly.
Awesome. Yeah.
Like seeing like my students work really hard for something and then getting the result they wanted. Sometimes when I feel like I'm in a bit of a rut,
yes,
and I see them work really hard and achieve something, it makes me want to continue working hard to work hard.
No, that's awesome. Yeah. It makes an enormous difference.
Oh yeah, it's so inspiring.
And then when you say, like, have you started doing that to yourself? Like, have you started self-talking yourself? You're like, Lainey, you've got this. You started saying that?
Yeah, I definitely want to incorporate it more.
Yeah, that works.
Look at something and be like, oh, I'll do this later. But stick at it and be like, Lainey, I can do this.
No,
you're so smart. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's interesting because there are so many studies, like psychological studies, on exactly this type of thing. I can think of one in the negative, actually. I heard recently there was a study where they got a whole bunch of ladies and they were going for a job interview. And they told them that the point of the interview was to see if the interviewer would be biased based on physical attractiveness. So they were going to put makeup on these ladies to make them look ugly, scarred or whatever, and then send them into the interview, and they were going to have a control group. And then the idea was to see, which group got hired the most, given otherwise equivalent resumes and whatever. And so they put makeup on the ladies to make them look ugly and scarred or whatever, and then they showed them their face. And then they said they were just touching up the makeup, and they sent them in, and ladies went in, and sure enough, they got less positions. The interviewer I didn't know anything, and they got hired less often. The interesting thing is, and where it gets fascinating, at the end, when the people setting up the survey touched up the makeup, they didn't touch it up; they removed it. Like, these ladies walked in with a perfectly good, beautiful face. Like they walked in as their perfect selves, but because they believed they were uglier, that belief affected how they went into the interview. Everyone had perfect makeup, and the control group and the quote unquote ugly group were all actually beautiful and just look like their normal selves. But it's fascinating, like the fact that they believed they still had the ugly makeup on made them feel, I don't know, less sure of themselves or whatever.
And also going off that, just this is purely based on what I've seen. But I feel like girls and like women in general, we tend to have less confidence than like our male counterparts will. Yes, right. So seeing
confident women has a greater impact than seeing confident men potentially. Especially to female students having a role model. There are very few gender differences in terms of personality, but one of them I think is neuroticism. Like it's like of the big 5 personality traits. My understanding of this is very limited, but I think there's more, like, women are generally more tilted towards neuroticism. I mean, like they're more self-aware.
Or have more self-doubt.
That's right. Have more self-doubt. So no, it's a hugely important thing, and especially if, all students, but especially if female, like if girls can look up to women that are confident and know what they're doing, it can make a
100%.
huge difference. Is there more guys or girls that do the self-talk? As in the positive self-talk?
More women, which is, I think that's why I feel so touched and so inspired.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. Which educators in your life have influenced you the most?
I study physiotherapy at UNSW. A lot of my tutors and lecturers are so passionate in their own respective fields. So currently I'm doing cardiorespiratory physio at the moment. And going into it, I didn't think I would be that interested in it. But seeing how enthusiastic and how passionate my lecturers and like course conveners are about it makes me really like cardiorespiratory physio. Awesome. I think the passion that they have is so inspiring. And this goes across all of the subjects that I've had. I've had so many inspiring, passionate lecturers, tutors, co-conveners, course conveners. That's awesome. That makes me really excited to be a physio. Hopefully have that same passion that they do.
That's fantastic. Yeah, because often you hear that your uni lecturers especially, but tutors too, are like lackluster. They're just kind of there because they're doing research and they have to do lectures, but it's not what they're actually there for. And they're more into the academia side of things. And it's interesting. I don't know, sometimes, or usually I'd say people look back on their school teachers, but I love that it's still happening. Like, it's happening live. Yeah, like you're still getting inspired from your uni lecturers and tutors, which is amazing.
Yeah.
And then do you find that you embody that with your students? Like as in when you see your students, is it like to come back to what you said at the very beginning about how your one of your superpowers, your tutoring superpower, is that you kind of know what to do with students of different year level and subjects. Is it like a kind of costume that you put on, where like, okay, you put on a certain tutor or a certain lecturer or whatever, or a certain teacher, and then is it something like that? I don't know. Hard no, Harry. Yeah.
There's so many parts of that I can address.
Yes. Okay, anyway. The lecturers and tutors that inspire you, do they do you kind of like channel them?
Yeah, like seeing the way that they talk to us has helped me think about how I talk to students. And I think a lot of the things that we learn to be like a healthcare practitioner and how to talk to people, I've used a lot of that knowledge and integrated that in the way that I teach.
That's awesome.
Which I think is really cool. And the feeling I get of being so inspired by my educators, it makes me want to work hard and make them proud. Which then again bumps up my grades. And I have that same mentality in tutoring, where if I'm really passionate about what I do, which I am, it's not an act at all, I hope that my students can also feel the same and feel so passionate, which makes them want to work harder as well.
I'm very sure they do. No, that's awesome. And to come back to something, because you mentioned this earlier, you mentioned about how it was inspiring to see students give themselves like self-belief and self-talk. I wonder, in your physio, have you seen evidence of that on a physical level? Like, has there been any talk in your degree, or have you seen this, I guess, in private practice or in hospitals, where like someone is particularly believing in themselves, or they give themselves affirmations or whatever, and then they heal faster? Like, it's not just a mental thing where you just like, okay, you believe you can do it, therefore, you don't put as many mental barriers, and then you learn stuff. Have you seen it manifest itself, like your literal cells in your body make you walk faster? Like, have you seen this kind of thing before?
Yeah, not particularly in placement or anything. I haven't done much of that yet. But yeah, we've done like research and looking at studies that show that having a positive attitude actually gives you a better outcome in a lot of a lot of different diseases.
Beautiful. It's a measurable difference, like the healing rate or the success rate of a certain movement.
Obviously, just having a positive attitude won't fix a lot of ailments, but it definitely contributes to a better treatment and a faster recovery.
Along with the actual physical way, you can't just motivational speaking your patient into like walking again. And my sister actually did physio. My younger sister did physio. And finished, I don't know, like many years ago now, 6-7 years ago, and she loved it. It's a very good, a very important and very good thing to be doing.
I can see it being really rewarding, which I'm really excited for.
If you could spend an hour with one person from history at a particular point in time, who would you choose to spend that hour with?
I don't know if I could tell you a specific person, but I can definitely tell you a vibe that I would go for. I would really want to talk to someone who inspires me to be a better person in terms of like super kind, super enthusiastic, caring, hard worker, I guess.
Right, so someone who embodies those things that you want to speak to. Well, most of the people you might remember from the past probably have most of those traits. Which I guess is why
I can't pick one.
Well, that's also why we'd bother remembering them, right? Because if they were like not kind or whatever, then that simply wouldn't happen there. What advice would you give kid Lainey?
I would just keep telling myself to do things that make you happy, because when you're happy, you're passionate. And I feel like everything kind of falls into place when you're passionate about everything that you do.
Like, do things that resonate with your natural ability and natural proclivities towards what you want to do. If your mind's telling you this feels good, this is where I'm meant to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. Do more of that.
Yes, and it's okay if not every day is as positive as you hope it was. It's okay to have some down days.
As long as you're moving towards the higher goal. It's interesting because it's a tough balance between being like, because they're actually two separate things. Like it's two separate things to do what makes you happy more, and then on the other hand to be tolerant of unhappiness, or to be tolerant of struggle, like legitimate suffering, like challenge. They're almost the opposite of each other. Like in some sense, do what makes you happy can be seen as the opposite of, suffer legitimately. Like put in the hard work, challenge yourself, extend yourself to achieve some future goal. But I guess you need balance, right? You want to have a balance of the two.
Do what makes you happy and keep positive and keep moving in a direction that aligns towards your goals.
Very cool. And then finally, where do you see yourself in 5 years' time?
Hopefully, I've graduated and
Yes.
I become an accredited physiotherapist.
That's exciting.
Not quite sure what type of physio I want to be yet, but I've got 2 more years to figure that out.
Tell us a bit too, and for our listeners, because I didn't know, and potentially, I don't know, maybe everyone else does and I don't. But yeah, what kinds of physiotherapists are there?
I also didn't know this when I first started physio, because you always think of physio associating with sport injuries,
yes,
and stuff like that. But yeah, you can also have physio for like cardiorespiratory, from people like going into surgery, like heart and lung surgery. They have to have physio before and after, and also neurological.
What's the physio before? Sorry, well, why would you have physio before surgery?
You have to be considered fit enough for surgery. It's done through exercise, teaching people how to, I guess, look after themselves after, as well as focusing on some like aerobic fitness will help them
like get through the surgery, heal as they should afterwards, straight afterwards. You're not going to see them like the day after the surgery. So you want to tell them beforehand, after the surgery, X, Y, Z is going to happen. Do these activities to make sure. Got it. And then you see them, every couple of weeks, whatever after that.
And like the fitter someone is, the better their recovery is, and less complications they'll have during surgery as well. And same as like there's like neurological, and there's also a growing field, which is women's health physio.
Nice, as well as the sports, exercise science stuff. There's also like, I've done my back in. I need a massage. Like there's like a I don't know, therapeutic massage, whatever. I met a chiro the other day. Is there still stigma between chiro? Like, is it like the chiros of the, astrologers of the world? Like, you have like physicists, actual astrophysicists, and then you have like, people that are like Libra and Gemini and Cancer. Like, is it kind of like that between physios and chiros still? I get that vibe.
Yeah, it's a big stereotype, isn't it? I haven't really read much research on chiropractic, so I feel like I can only give my biased physiotherapist perspective. I do think that chiropractic maybe has its place. It's good for like short-term treatment, and with short-term treatment, if that helps relieve your symptoms and pain, that can help you adhere to your long-term treatment. So like exercise and strengthening, whatever was causing you that pain. So maybe chiropractic is good for short-term treatment, but physio seems to be the better option to fixing that pain and not having to go back consistently. But my opinions might change on this in 6 months or a year.
It's like a politically correct version of, we're the astrophysics and they believe in zodiacs.
No, I also think, I just haven't read enough research on chiropractic yet, so I'm sure it's got its time and place. Very cool, very cool.